Verona Athanassious writes, "Hey, Collider crew. We learned yesterday that the Justice League Part 1 film is coming out November 17th of 2017. On November 3rd, however, is when Thor Ragnarok will come out. My question is, should we be worried for Thor 3? I know it comes out first, but a third sequel of a Marvel movie is still not as hyped up about versus the actual Justice League, which, from what I heard, is basically the Avengers of DC, and people have been waiting to see that on a big screen for a long time. I'm sure many fans will save up their money until just the end of the month to watch Justice League instead of Thor 3. I really hope Thor 3 does well, and I believe Marvel does too, so I have a feeling that Marvel will move it up because spring of 2018 will have Infinity Wars Part 1, and they can't move it back. What do you all think? Thanks."
Dennis?
I don't think they're going to move it. I mean, 2 weeks is, I think, ample time for Thor. I mean, you have to remember, the bulk of movies box office is in those first 2 weeks, so I don't see how Justice League is going to hurt it that much. I mean, by that third week, you might even get some overflow because maybe Justice League is sold out and people go into the theater like, hey, I want to see a movie and maybe I haven't seen Thor yet, so I'll go check that out. And yeah, I just don't see them moving it.
Mark?
I'm going to paraphrase Tony Stark and say, look, they have Flash, and they have Aquaman, they have Batman, they have Superman. We have a Hulk. And when you sell the Hulk as one of the leads in Thor Ragnarok, that's going to do a long way to tell people, hey, look, you got to see this movie too, because it's not just a one standalone superhero versus this team. We're going to have Thor and we're going to have Hulk, two guys that arguably stole the rest of the movie in the Avengers from everybody else. So I think 2 weeks is enough time on its own when you have all the moving parts that are going to be in Thor Ragnarok up there and ready for everybody to see and advertise. That movie's going to do very, very well.
Yeah, they're not moving it. It's also a matter of them standing their ground and saying, look, like you said, it's going to be, they're really going to focus more on Hulk and Thor. And right now, there's not advertising. They're not talking about it because they're focusing on other things. They got to focus on Civil War here. They got to focus on Doctor Strange. There's a lot of stuff that they're going to be focusing on before they can give the push, and they will give the push. Now, whether or not the Hulk shows up in a post-credit scene or even more so in Civil War and causes something else that maybe gets us excited for Thor Ragnarok, we don't know yet. It's certainly possible. So I don't think they're going to move. I think that it's quite the opposite. I think because by staying there and showing we're that confident in what Thor can do, and because you're going to have the Hulk in it, I still think that, and I said this I guess a couple weeks ago on Movie Talk, that if they would have done the Hulk standalone movie after the first Avengers, I think it would have done a lot better than the one beforehand. But I still think that he is a draw. He's a guy that, if you want to see the Hulk and Thor together on other worlds, it's the first time the Hulk's actually going to have a challenge on other worlds. It's going to be a really attractive thing to fans to go out and see.
And also remember, Marvel, they had that one date for what Civil War and Batman v Superman was on, and they did not budge. They're like, screw it, we're gonna keep it. And then Batman v Superman had to move off it. So I don't see them moving. And I think the brilliant thing about this whole shared universe stuff is, even though, let's say, Thor 3 isn't as highly anticipated right now, it's almost like a pseudo sequel. That's how all these shared universes work, where you feel like the fans feel like they have to see every single one. They can't miss, because if they watch a movie after that, they're like, what did I miss? So I don't think it's a big deal.
That November is going to be really good, man, because there's a chance, like there were rumors that Creed 2 is going to come out around there if it gets greenlit at all. So like that'd be a great 3 weeks that you want to mow lawns all summer so you can go see those 3 movies in November.
Do people still mow lawns?
I do.
Okay.
You guys don't?
No.
Whose lawn are you mowing?
I mean, I don't get paid for it.
We're in a
It's just
drought.
so
How does
weird.
your grass grow so well? I don't understand.
Don't, minoxidil.
He's a liar. He's a
You're
filthy,
a liar.
filthy liar.
Hey guys, if you like this clip, click here to watch the entire episode. Also, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel because it'll help you stay up to date with all the stuff we've got going on here at